she's staring at.
This is Ms. Pac-Man, the original 1981 sequel to Pac-Man, originally conceived by the General Computer Corporation under the name Crazy Auto, which would later be licensed by Midway, who were the North American distributors of Pac-Man at the time. They wanted a sequel to that hit game. So Crazy Auto became Ms. Pac-Man, and Namco would later adopt Ms. Pac-Man into the Pac-Canon, resulting in appearances in numerous ports, conversions, Namco Museum compilations, and even a couple spin-off titles. Now what we're playing here is the Ms. Pac-Man release from 2016, one of 4 games that make up Namco's arcade game series lineup, which also includes Pac-Man, which we've sampled ages ago in a prior video, Galaga, and Dig Dug. These were also available on Xbox One and PS4, and believe it or not, in 2024, this arcade game series lineup is still available for purchase on Steam, and you can buy each of these games for about $5 a piece. And with the whole Namco GCC AtGames legal mess over the rights that have been going on for the past few years, this is the last official, conveniently accessible release of Ms. Pac-Man you'll come across. You're not going to find Ms. Pac-Man in any recent Namco Museum lineup, not even the Pac-Man Museum Plus collection, even though she was part of the original Pac-Man Museum lineup from a few years prior, but whatever. Nor do I expect to see her grace the Hamster Arcade lineup anytime soon. I'll insert the awkward pause here for in case this video goes up and all of a sudden, whoop, there it is. But as of this recording, this is the last officially convenient way to play Ms. Pac-Man, which is a shame for one of the earliest female protagonists in video game lore to be designated an endangered species. And before anyone else brings it up, yes, I know there's an arcade 1-up thing that came out a couple years later, but that's not exactly what I would call convenient. But enough about that stuff, let's talk about the actual game now. Ms. Pac-Man, as you could tell, follows the same formula established by the original Pac-Man game. You control Ms. Pac-Man around the maze, eat up all the dots to clear the round and proceed to the next, all the while avoiding the ghosts who are constantly pursuing you. You gobble up a power pellet to turn the tables on the ghosts and eat the ghosts for big points before they turn back. On the surface, this is pretty old hat, but Ms. Pac-Man introduces a couple of things that makes it superior to the original Pac-Man game. The most notable being 4 new mazes for you to tackle, as well as revamped fruit, which will now bounce around the maze, so now it's a prize to be pursued, and that makes it a bit more challenging at times. Other than that, it's still pretty much the same classic Pac-Man gameplay. It controls as well as it did in that original game, but now you're playing the misses and you've got more mazes, better sound effects, and bouncing fruit, which makes it a far better game. Now, there's little to say about the actual game itself because it's been around for almost half a century, and the original arcade version, well, there's not a whole lot to talk about there. Ms. Pac-Man's an improved follow-up to Pac-Man. It's a classic. It's appeared in countless formats on countless platforms. This version plays fine. So this being a 2016 re-release of an old arcade game, you're given a number of options to play around with. You have 2 rather obnoxious-looking screen borders to choose from, or you could go with a simple gray display, which is rather boring, but it's better than nothing if the other 2 don't cut it for you. There's a variety of sound options such as reverb, screen settings in regards to sizing, positioning. You could change the angle of the screen so you could play it upside down or play it on a vertically inclined screen if you have one of those, or hey, this thing's compatible with the Steam Deck apparently, so it's perfect for that, I suppose. And you have the usual game settings, setting the number of lives, how many points for an extra life, enabling the kill screen, things of that nature. Or you could choose your starting round if you've cleared a few rounds and you don't want to start at the beginning every time, which will keep you from online leaderboards if you start at a later round if you care for such things. That's about the gist of it. No controller options other than to invert the up and down, which, hey, there's not much to the controls. You just have a stick, you move up, down, left, right, that's it. You have a start button to pause the game and put the coins in. That's the extent of the controls with Ms. Pac-Man. Apparently the Steam version of these arcade game series don't have controller support, at least that's what the page says. But I plugged in an Xbox controller that I had lying around and it works fine with that, so I'm guessing you have to use the Steam settings to customize your controller support to get it to work, or... Look, it's a fairly simple game. You only need the arrow keys to move around. If it works with a controller, great, but it's too much overthinking for a game that's relatively simple and doesn't quite warrant it. Overall, Miss Pac-Man is a quality sequel to Pac-Man that did what that first game did and just did it better with more mazes and some nice tweaks here and there. This arcade game series re-release is the most convenient at the moment until it eventually gets delisted, but there's plenty of other ways to play Miss Pac-Man if you know where to look. Now obviously, is this the best of the bunch? Not really, there's others that arguably have since surpassed it in the decades that have followed, but it is the better sequel to the first Pac-Man. And that's what makes Miss Pac-Man great. And I don't want to live in a world where the only sequel to Pac-Man is a gluttonous key-fetching pile of